And god damn it if I didn't forget to do the thing that I was going to do before I went live. Every fucking time, dudes. Every fucking time. Anyway, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. Let's go. Just open up the fuck floor. Again. I don't know how it's gonna go. But goddamn, I'm really glad all those slugs and shit are on that side of the fucking tent and not this one. You know, slugs and shit trying to get out of the water. And I'm glad they are on that side and not that one, because fuck, they would be all over me. I'm going to replace my tent on Monday. Because it's supposed to rain until Sunday. So I'll just have to deal with that being there for now. I'm really itchy. I got a little bit of a leak right here. The giant spider right there. It's giant to me, alright? It's the size of a fucking dime. And it's sitting right by your fucking eyeball. And you can see it cleaning its fucking face, thinking about how it wants to eat you. No, I am a force of the environment to that thing. I am too big for it to comprehend how big I actually am. You see, bugs, they don't have brains that model the world in the way that we do. I don't really know how they model the world, but they don't do it in the way that mammals. They don't do it in the way that mammals do, and they most certainly don't do it in the way that humans do. That's a little better. Makes me look like I have a halo. I'm assuming you can hear me. Forgot I have my headphones in. That works out for me. I can turn on my music. Did that mute me? Because it might have muted me. If for some reason YouTube is actually taking the feed from my headphones. I don't know. I don't have a producer. Hey, Rachie. Closest thing I got to a producer. Boom, bum, ba-da-dum, ba-do-da-do-da-do-da. Episode 2 of Naked Philosophy for the year. I'm not going to be counting them for very long. Oh, the love I've shown, given to the ones I've known. All the love I make is equal to the love I take. Love I've shown, given to the ones I've known along the way. Free from it all, wreathed in the darkest fog. When afterlife for a brother's eyes you'll know, through fire embers low, written a different stone. Letting go, your spirit flies. Oh, the love I've shown, been given to the ones I've known. All the love I make is equal to the love I take. Like a feeling grass, be careful of the ones you left along the way. Free from it all, breathed in the darkest fog. When afterlife through a brother's eyes you'll know, through fire embers low, wanted a different stone. Letting go, your spirit flies. And then the ubiquitous or inescapable guitar solo. The storm devours us, in the morning light, the sparrow flies. Then the moon devoured us, let it die. Good morning. I am still an emotional roller coaster, and I went and looked for anybody curious. I went and watched episode 4. I titled it "Revisiting Final Fantasy VII as an Adult." Toward the end of episode 4, I played that scene where you meet the president, and I am pretty sure the dialogue is subtly different at the end, because up until Barrett says that's the end of this, no, not that scene. Barrett says something to the president, and then the president turns to him and says, yes, and we'll build our money-making reactors there, and it loses me. I don't think that's what he says in the new port. I am almost certain that's not what he says, because that's a cartoon villain, and that's cartoon villainy and dumb. I am certain he said something that made sense. Or I was just in the right emotional place because I was doing it, I was voice acting it, that it hit me in a different way than it ever has. But you can see in episode 4, I'm totally resistant of the whole scene. The whole scene pisses me off and I start making fun of it very quickly. Thank you for letting me know, Jed. Without you telling me, I never would have known. It's not a meme. This one's kind of perfect to do a spoken word version to. I don't really feel like singing Maynard. Eye on the TV because tragedy thrills me, whatever flavor it happens to be. Like another husband, drowned by the ocean, shot by his own son. She used the poison in his tea, then kissed him goodbye. That's my kind of story. It's never fun till someone dies. You ever just do spoken word versions of your songs? You ever just speak it? Realize what you're saying out loud? They'll look at me like I'm a monster. Frown out your one face, but with the other, stare like a junkie into your phone screen. Stare like a zombie, wide open mouth. A mother holds her child, watch as they die. Gaze to the sky crying, oh why, oh why? 'Cause I need to watch things die. From a distance, vicariously I live while the whole world dies. You all need it too, don't lie. Why can't we just admit it? Why can't we just admit it? We won't give pause until the blood is flowing and I don't know what he says there. I don't know what he says there either. We won't give pause until the blood is flowing. I need to watch things die from a good safe distance. Vicariously, I live while the whole world dies. You all feel the same, so why can't we just admit it? Hello, Joseph. It's good to revisit the music from between 2001 and 2008 when we're revisiting those wars for political clout. Nothing's changed. It's just different. I can do it too, Maynard. Look. I can find the two. You can count the two in anything. A vampire. A warrior. Carnivore. I don't know what he says there. Oh, and voyeur. Stare at the transmit. Don't. Sink to the death rattle. La 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 la. La 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 la, let's lie. La 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 lie. La 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 lie. Yeah, let's just lie to one another constantly all the time about everything. I'm in your mom's backyard, seahorse. The call is coming from within the house. I saw a TikToker the other day who was saying that while Tool are great, Chevelle are the underrated version of Tool. Underrated Tool, or something to that effect. And I said, well, no, that's wrong. But Chevelle do write better songs with Tool's soundscapes. That I would agree with. Certainly they've written more songs. Fragile is the best of your desire to believe in, the angels in the hearts of men. September 21st, I think, of 2024. Hello, Sadistic. Shouldn't have to say this all again. The universe is hostile, so impersonal. Devour to survive, so it is, so it's always been. Bat, 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 bat. That's why we have a whole class of devourers that they call consumers. Bat, bat, bat. We all feed on tragedy. It's like blood to a vampire. Like, your definition of comedy doesn't even make sense. Vicariously I live, while the whole world dies, because everybody else is doing it wrong. Much better you than I. You are acceptable losses. I am the progenitor of the new species. I will remain while you all kill yourselves over glory and vain. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Yes, I do remember the 21st night of September 2024. don't know the words. Your mom play your cards right, it might be your new stepdad, Cody Miser. He says darkness and light entwined, everything is all the time. All around you, heart's a lie. Everything is all the time. Well, from the perspective of biological science, we haven't found anything more ultimate as far as life forms go than the human being, so why can't I be the ultimate being? You probably are too. From that perspective, we're not all that different. The only thing that's different between you and me is I know how to brush my fucking hair. And eat pussy, but you know, that's only an accomplishment to some of us. I'm adding notes that are not in this song. I did not write this song. If I had written this song, it would sound like what I'm doing. I like when the bass does counterplay when the guitars are resting. When the guitars are doing like a, hey, we're going to do silence like a bass would do, I like when the bass does counterpoint. They never do. Because what a bassist doesn't want to do in a band that's recording records is get fired. Hello, Maddie. Well, I'm assuming you mean new to the channel. I don't recognize you, so I kind of would have guessed. What's up with you today, Maddie? I don't even know if it's still raining. Darkness and light entwined. That's not what it sounds like. He's from Austin, Texas, and he likes to sing up here, and it hurts my voice, so I'm not going to do it. He sings over here in the side of his voice, and it hurts mine, so no, don't feel like it. It's you, it's little brother. Oh, little brother, look at him go, dragging himself with his one little leg. He wants to live for eternity, he says. He wants to see behind the veil. He's singing about me. Everything comes around again. The serpent eats its tail. Now he's singing about Hannah's dad. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. I smoke a shitload of weed, though. And I used to eat acid like it was going to give me superpowers. I'm going to buy shoes on Monday, Epitaph. I actually don't need shoes. I just want new sandals. Which means I got to throw away the 4 pair of sandals that I've been just collecting for some reason. Like I'm never going to stick my feet in those again. I don't smoke meth. I've never even seen meth. Is this Windhand? I don't feel like Windhand either. Diablerie. Don't really feel like that. Oh no! That'll do. This is where I live, yes. This is my home. Anyone in the audience a Kylesa fan? I've seen him live twice. I got to shake bro's hand. I don't know his name. You'll be alright, superfans, if I don't know everyone's name in your superfan band. It took me years to remember Tool's names, and I don't know all of them. And sometimes I can't remember both Jonas and Anders' names in the same sentence. And I can never remember all 4 of the dudes in Mastodon. Never. Oh, no, Brent, Bill, Braun, and I can never remember. I think it's like Trent. It might be Trent. That's not right. No, I'm not in my backyard. I don't actually want a pizza, but thank you, Emma. Bow, bow. If I can make between 20, well, if I can make more than 20 bucks today, I'm gonna go get a hamburger. I have no idea what he's saying. I like that Kailasa has 2 drummers. So I like to listen to the drums pan across my headphones. You wouldn't like this, Rach. It wouldn't. It all kind of lives in the high area. It lives in the high middle. It doesn't have that low end you want. It's audible, so it's not buzzing the speaker. He's just living in this. For sure, another. Got to work on my volume at that range. Well, it's nice. Maybe. It's nice. But my grandmother thought that knickknacks were nice too. She was passionate about collecting ceramic figurines. That's nice. Well, you're talking at me. That's pretty offensive. Another number, but okay. What does he say right there? Inhumane encounters is what he said as you were typing. Sorry, hope I didn't offend you. What? Unknown awareness. That's what that song is called. Sorry, the erotic synchronicity right there. I think this might be a, yes, I'm in a tent, Kevin. I think this might be an instrumental. So I'm just going to ride the rhythm guitar for the next 3.5 minutes or whatever. I don't actually know it though. Not well enough to sing it. Because I played trumpet, right? And then before you can play first trumpet in the solos, you got to know how to teach the second and third trumpets how to play the rhythm. They got to sound good before I can sound good. So I don't listen to the lead guitar. They're fucking improvising live anyway. The good ones are not playing what they recorded on these songs. The great ones definitely aren't. On certain songs they will, like radio single ballads that everybody can sing the guitar solo. But solos that came out of jams, like this isn't instrumental, this came out of a jam and they couldn't figure out how to put lyrics over top of it. So the lead guitar plays the vocal line. That's why when the singer finally shuts the fuck up, the guitarist starts playing his leads. His solos. But that comes out of big band, right? That comes out of the kind of bands that were touring during the World War I, World War II, right? But Metallica made it kind of passe after Cliff died. Kind of Metallica said, all right, no more virtuoso bassists in metal. That kind of became a thing. So the drummers, they're allowed to fill all that extra noise space while the guitarists are playing their chords. The drummers are allowed to do their fills and fill all that back noise, but the bassist isn't allowed to do, fun things, fun fills. But why don't we fall down on the root? They just have to remain on the root. It's hard to be taken seriously when you got this 6-string guitar and you're just hitting a fucking C sharp all night long. Hello again, Maddie. But then, you listen to Mudvayne, and their sound is so muddy, you can barely hear bro in it. It's like, there's very little wonder he has so little interest in being in Mudvayne. Like, he's doing interesting shit, and it all sounds evil and whatever, but you can't hear him on stage. Ryan Martini, that's his name. Can't hear him. Can't hear him on stage. And then, if you have the music turned on, the only thing you can hear is when he pops the string. He gets that on those chords, and that sounds cool, but that's the only time you can actually hear the things that he's doing. But if you turn him up, then you're listening to a different genre of music, because if you can hear all the counterpoint that's going on with the guitar, you're no longer listening to the guitar. And if you're not listening to the guitar, you're not really engaged in metal, because it's such a guitar forward sound. I'm complaining, by the way. It sounds like I'm being very logical and very reasonable, and I'm trying to explain to you why you shouldn't be upset. And what I'm actually doing is I'm talking myself through why I'm fucking annoyed that I can't hear the bassist. He's there, but he's right in the middle of the fucking guitars. Drop him down and fill this part of my head should be full of noise, and it's just not. And that's on the producer. I'm actually bitching. I really like that sound. That's why I listen to metal, is because I really like the bass register. And the guitars are fun. Their distortion and all their treble and all that. Yeah, it's fucking great. It's great. I love it. It's wonderful. But where's the bassist? I know he's in the band. Okay, random inclusion. I'm not really ranting. I'm reminding myself not to be annoyed. This is a band that I like, but I would really like it if I could hear more bass than the kick drum. I don't hate it, because I know the story. That's kind of where I began, Austin, is that Metallica kind of said, no more. We're not allowed to have virtuoso bassists in metal anymore when Cliff died. So I'm talking myself through being patient with these producers. because competing with those two big kick drums in that room, it took them a really long time. It took record producers a really long time to be able to compress all of those sounds, and then they over compress them, and we're here where we are now, where everybody just uses these triggers. I don't hate the Injustice for All album. I don't listen to it. I prefer the Black Album, and I love Load and Reload. I'll fight you over Load and Reload. But Load, Reload, and the Black Album are just soaked in rock and roll bass. And so it's there, it's present. Like if you listen to Nothing Else Matters, it's delicate, but it's there. And it, like everybody talks about it being a troll or it being a prank, and I don't think that's what it was at all. I think what it was a genius marketing scheme, genius marketing campaign. Metallica were a live band and had been a live band the whole time. We are misremembering how history worked if we're saying that the record did anything besides sell live tickets before the late 90s. The late 90s. Bands made records so you'd come see the songs live. The Justice, I went back and I watched that Seattle show, Seattle 89 or whatever, 86, whenever that was. They played Seattle right after Justice came out, right after Jason joined the band. And people were there to see Jason. They were not there to see Justice. The thing about Justice became a thing with the bedroom metalhead, with the bedroom magazines. It was just something to talk about. I don't think it was a prank. I genuinely think what happened is he came in and he listened to it. Lars, the leader of the band and the person with creative yes or no, the final creative veto on everything that they do, has always had the final creative veto. You don't have to like that, but that's how it is. He came in and he listened to it and he said, "That's not Cliff. We're glad that Jason is in the band, but our fans are going to hate that he just double-tracked the guitars, and they're going to hate what he did on one, so they can come see it live." That's what happened. Metallica was not the Metallica that you know today until they played One on that stage was it the MTV Music Awards? One of those awards ceremonies. Metallica was not the band that you know and that you remember until they played One at that live awards ceremony on TV. And then didn't get the award when Jethro Tull got the best metal record, when Injustice came out. That's why we remember Injustice the way we do. That's why we talk about it the way we do. Not any of the stuff that happened before it, leading up to it, or actually the thing itself. We don't talk about Justice because of the record itself. If we're going to talk about Justice because of the record itself, we're going to say the songs are overlong, they don't know how to end, and they were obviously processing their grief over Cliff. And those young men are allowed to process their grief over Cliff in any way that they deem fit. We got the record that we got, and then we got the live shows that we got as a result. And if you go back and you watch their live shows in support of Justice, they were Metallica featuring Kirk Hammett and Jason Newsted back then. They were Metallica featuring a lead guitarist and a bassist. They weren't the band that they are after they brought in Robert Trujillo. Since Death Magnetic, they have been a cohesive band, 4 dudes working together to make a live performance and records that you can listen to over and over and over again for eternity. But that is not who they were going into writing Saint Anger. You can watch that documentary, the Some Kind of Monster. That is not the dudes they were. The whole documentary, Kirk is sitting there looking into the camera saying, "I don't have a job anymore. He's talked about it subsequent, that during that whole period, he was going to the dudes that he knew, like Satriani, the solo guitar dudes that he knew, like Satriani and the other one, Satch. Satriani might be Satch. Anyway, going to those dudes, I don't know them, I don't listen to that music, and saying, how the fuck am I supposed to survive without Metallica? I've been eating as Metallica with Kirk Hammett for decades. How am I supposed to survive? I didn't do solo stuff. I didn't experiment with other bands. I don't have relationships in the industry outside of these two assholes. What am I supposed to do? And he's like, write it out and make sure that they don't break the band apart. That's what everybody told him. Write it out and make sure the band doesn't break up. And that's what happened. But it took that long for them to become a band, and they've talked about it. It took the inclusion of Robert Trujillo going, look, let's be a band. Let's be like a band. But the personality conflict with Jason Newsted and his farm boy work ethic was never going to work with a guy who grew up rich with daddy issues, a guy who grew up effectively homeless with daddy issues, and a Filipino girl. Jason was never going to get along with those guys in the way that you, the fans, want them to be a cohesive band that are four dudes that are one thing. That was never going to happen with Jason in the band. Jason always saw himself as an employee of Metallica. He talks about it all the time. He used to talk about it all the time when he was in the band, that when he always wore Metallica shirts. He says, I'm not going to advertise a company that I don't work for. You wouldn't work for McDonald's wearing a Burger King shirt. That's insane. I think the same way. That's why I don't have friends that have invited me to be a part of their band. That work ethic is not why dudes are in bands. Dudes are in bands for the beer tickets and the easy pussy. Mastodon is telling me that they can see the pain. It's written all over my face. Yeah, it hurts me. Because metal began as the more avant-garde genre. The genre trying to push what we were allowed to talk about and what we were allowed to look like and what we were allowed to sound like in public. And the bedroom magazine guys, I'm not a bedroom magazine guys, I'm not a basement dweller. I occupy this life so I can talk about those motherfuckers. And the difference between us is obvious. I have to work for my food. I have to work to make sure that my shelter doesn't leak and doesn't collapse around me, because it's going to in the next few weeks. They don't. Dwelling in a basement means that somebody else takes care of you. Working from your bedroom means that that is the only space in the house over which you have sovereignty. If your workspace is your bedroom, you're a fucking loser. This is why Elliott Smith is my hero, and why I fucking hate Bradley Hall. The fuck is Bradley Hall to teach anyone? What has he done? What has he provided for himself with his knowledge? He provides for his bedroom recording space with sketches and bad faith comedy. Yeah, says the guy working out of a tent that he provides with his work, XD. Think about what you just said. Idiot. I gave up all of that because it's an illusion that undercuts your argument. No, I'm not on Skid Row. But what's up, Bathy? Taking a wage from a corporation makes it impossible to criticize people who take wages from corporations. Yeah, thank you. I will take my bow now. Mama, don't let them take them. Don't let him take them down. No, your parents weren't losers, Rach. And neither were your grandparents. And that's how you know the difference. I'm not talking about you. Hello, Ghost Rain. At least I own it, video gamer, and maintain it, and occupy it, and love it. You don't do any of those things. My home is mine. Your home is rented. And you lack the skill to maintain it on your own. And so you have to work for your corporation to pay a contractor to fix the things in your life that you lack the skill to fix. And so you have to work harder and longer and harder and longer and harder and longer to get further and further and further out of the hole that you're digging by working hard and long. Good job. It's your turn to take a bow. Rachie, I'm not talking about you. I would never. Why would I punch at you, Rachie? Your grandma's not... your grandma is a loser in the sense that the government forced her into a losing position. But I wasn't talking to you, Rachie. You don't need to be fought to work harder. You were working hard. Yes, your grandmother was a businesswoman and taught you skills. Give me a second, I have to pee. And yes, that's how close the foot of my tent is. That's how small my tent is. You want to see something beautiful? Yeah, Rachie, it spent the last, like, 48 hours raining. There's no snow left. Okay. Get that back in position. Get myself back comfortable. Now I can see the wells looming out of the dark like arrows in the sky. I can't believe my eyes, but it's true. Bow, bow, bow. One of the heaviest records ever recorded. Punishingly, crushingly heavy. Bring it the fuck on. Men were putty in her hands. Hopefully they were more like rocks. Shit, if they were putty, she was either doing something wrong or they were just not up to the challenge. Bow, bow. Sure. Tell me a funny one. Define okay, and I'll tell you, Magic Dragon. You and I might have different words, different definitions. Is that a question or a sentence? And is that your definition of okay? Yeah, Rachie, did she beautiful woman him up? Your grandma did a reverse beautiful woman situation? Is that where this comes from? He had blue eyes. I'm doing it wrong, I guess. I've been told that my whole life. Boom bum ba boom bum ba boom bum ba boom ba da boom. The head is hung in shame. The thought that you had gone, but you'd carried on. And now that I am gone, what else has been withdrawn? And for the record, Rachel, you're neither conservative nor liberal. You are not politically oriented. Forgotten. Are you strong when you're with him? The one that's placed you above us all. Boom chicka boom ba ba chicka boom. I think, and then I can love. I let boom it pass. It feels like fire, but it won't last. Yeah, I wasn't talking about you, sweetheart. I was talking to political people. Work with me here, man. It's hard to do this. Parties? Shit, this isn't a fucking party. There's not a pinata anywhere to be seen. No one has one. Maybe. If by we you mean brown people. Boom boom ba boom boom ba boom boom ba boom boom ba boom ba ba. Like my friend, and now it's been. Was it all for nothing? It's longer on the left than it is on the right. Maybe it's just thicker. Above us, you used to be like my twin, and all it's been. Was it all for nothing? Are you strong when you're with him? The one that's placed you above us. I think my right leg is probably longer. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, follow me into the desert. As thirsty as you are. Crack a smile, I don't know the words, and cut your mouth and drown in alcohol. That reminds me. I want to be more stoned than what I am. Down below, the truth is lying beneath the riverbed. Bow, bow, bow. My left and my right leg are longer than my middle leg, though. There she goes, out in the sunshine. Hello, Rachel. He says, I shot my load today. Would you cry for me? I lost my head again. Would you lie for me? I can't share the music I'm listening to. You guys aren't chatty today. Fuck, it's only 9 o'clock. Oh, God, I made a huge mistake. I fucked up. Why are you throwing bombs at me? I'm in an exceptional mood. I lost my head again. Would you laugh for me? I don't know the words. I left her in the sand, just a button in my hand. I lost my head again. Would you lie for me? Hella sleep deprived, I believe it. I kinda didn't think you would be awake. Just a finger in my heart. It's a burden in my hand. It's an anchor on my heart. It's a tumor in my head. Yeah, you might fall asleep listening to my dumb stream. Okay. Oh man, I made a mistake. I don't want to be awake this early. You wanted breakfast? I want the gumption to go down and have TJ's. What is today, Thursday? I don't have anything to say, guys. Eventually you guys are going to want to talk to me about my religious feelings and about my heresies and about the things that I believe in. And you're going to have questions for me. Because someday you guys are going to practice the humility that you tell me that I need to practice. Gumption. Gumption is, it's a nonsense word, really. It's like the intersection of motivation and, compulsion. It's like where you just do a thing kind of without thinking about it. Like, where'd you get the gumption to do that? Huh? I don't know. I just did it. That's kind of how that story. I guess it's not a word everybody knows. I've seen this once before. I have found these colors. I have known you for so long. When we ran in circles for our sake, I will wait for you. Boom, 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 boom. I wanna go into the darkness. That's not what he actually says. I came toe to toe and face to face with the beast. He knew me by my name, and that was surprising. He knew everything about me that I despised. I think it's Gumption. Gumption. Sing this once before. I have found these colors. You're just going to keep doing that until I told you, and I was going to see how many different ways you could come at it before you started to speak it in English. That's why I said motivation and having a notion to do a thing. Compulsion. It's at least an ION. You got that right. Yep, that's the one. That's the one right there. It's not even the right ending word, letter. Just one thing, I'm thinking of drinking. I'm maintaining sadness. Do it with your own blood. Yep. That's the one right there. I dance like I got no teeth. Yeah. My spelling is terrible. There's fast and not fast on cells. No idea what he says there. That one loud obsession. No idea there either. That we're all evil. I guess we're all evil. That has made my time, my material. Don't know what he says there either. That of all time, my fortune. I don't care. That is on my side. Yeah, they would probably spell it with the P. Gumption. Yeah. Bow, 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 bow. Even though in Appalachian, the P is silent, or is actually implied P. And watch me sleep. Bam, 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 bam. Forrest Gumption, that's it. Bam, 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 bam. He's been part of him that nobody wanted to see, man. I can't believe I'm keeping you away from Fallout 76. How dare I? You need to make you some avocado toast with runny eggs. And instead of using salt and pepper, you should use turmeric and sea crystals. I don't know. I got nothing. Priorities. Yeah, I know that I'm at the end of the queue. I don't want to be at the front of the queue. I don't actually like this band or this song or this soundtrack for that matter. Deftones, Change in the House of Flies, Queen of the Damned. Yeah, but you should do an ostrich check to make it totally hipster. I don't want to listen to Tool. What are you guys doing to me this morning? Ooh, I'm hungry. Fuck, it's so early, dude. It's like 9 in the morning. It's not even 9. God damn it, if I have to eat today, if I'm gonna get up and eat, I have to go to Panera. Nothing else is open yet. Or I have to sit here for 2 hours. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find the Gumption reach. I don't want to walk that far on an empty stomach, frankly. And I don't want to stand out. It might rain at any minute. I don't want to stand at a bus stop. Because I don't want to stand at an uncovered bus stop in the rain for any amount of time. Even if it's a 0% chance of happening. Yeah, no. I'll go do it on Monday. Something like it on Monday. That's not what it sounds like at all. That's a different story. Yeah, it's a different story. Not very far, because it's ice cream. Thou that give up what weighs you down. Yeah. The only control you have is all your own. Do you put the pieces together again? Or do I leave them lying on the floor? I am dumb. I can see your face, and I feel the shrine, and I feel ashamed that I have let you down again. People everywhere. I don't know the words. I feel like singing. But I am going to fuck up my voice if I do it at the volume I want. What am I waiting for? Does fortune favor the bold? Was the hardest thing to cut and run. I need to like tie this shit off so my little doodle doesn't come falling out. That's not what that sounds like. I messed it up. I used to play trumpet, right? And I perform using my voice. This is how I warm my tongue up. I sing guitar parts. I'm kind of riffing on this because it's a lot of eighth notes. Because producers don't think we want to listen to real busy music. So if the guitars are doing a lot of stuff, they're like, all right, drums, bass, chill the fuck out. And I'm like, no, let them go crazy. I'm listening. Hello, returned. Will you please give the phone to Rachel? She wore a cloak of feathers and wore a mare of purest white. I know some of these words. A silver chalice in her hands, a look of sadness in her eyes. Thing of beauty to behold, but of sorrow to possess. This is all my ex-girlfriends. She'll take all that you offer until there's nothing left. Nothing left. I told you I'm not doing the sword's voice. I'll hurt my throat. Is hidden in shadows beneath a hood of quills. The pinions of her ravens conceal all her ills. I like girls with dark hair. Da 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 da. Bow down, bow down, bow down, bow down, down. Biggity 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 bow bow. Braga daga daga bow bow. Bow bow down bow down. Bow 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 down down. Wow dingo booga dingo bow down. Boo weedle diddle 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 bow down down. Boo weedle diddle 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 bow down. Bum bow down boo diddle diddle bow down down. Bow boo diddle 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 down down down. Bow down boo diddle 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 down down. Bow down boo diddle 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 down. See, a bass solo wouldn't be hard, motherfuckers. Beneath a cloak of feathers lies a body soft and fine. Eyes of hazel green, flowing hair as dark as wine. A thing of beauty to remember, but of sorrow to forget. She took all that I gave her, till there was nothing left. Nothing left. Of all of the ravens, of peacock and dove, of swan and of sparrow. I think he says open with her love. Her face hidden in shadows, beneath a hood of quails. The pinions of her ravens conceal all her ills. I like how often the sword reached to Nordic and generally Northern European motifs in their music. I like it. It resonates with my racial memory. I have read an incomprehensible amount of poetry. If you want to hear me talk about racial memory, I have read an incomprehensible amount of world poetry. Folklore. Scripture writ large. And the only stuff that when I just sit down and read it, I go, hey, I know these people. I recognize this guy because he's me, is the Scandinavian stuff. Yeah, Northern European stuff. Franco-Norman. It turns out I look like those people too. We barely remember who or what came before this precious moment. Right now. I don't feel like doing you right now, Maynard. Sorry, I love the bass, but I don't feel like hearing your voice in my head. I don't know this song, but it sounds great. Ooh, no. It'll hurt my throat. All right, we got it. There we go. Fixed. Good shit. Not yet. I think Toxic Knight thinks I'm an AI. I once heard a Freemason say that magic systems only work. Well, I am, but they only work for those racially attached to them. And I thought that sounds like bullshit. And it probably is. Yeah. Because race is a thing that actually exists. It's a thing that makes sense. Race isn't your nationhood. So, like, I'm not racially American, but I do have a genetic descent that comes with lived experiences. Like my grandparents, their grandparents, their grandparents, their grandparents. That's a pretty big funnel. Like it gets to be a pretty big cone of lived experiences and lived environments. But there are patterns there. And those people are my race. And so the further outside that cone I want to attach myself to lived experiences and genetic lines, the more dangerous I'm getting with my thinking. That's stupid. But I have a race. Like, I have people. They have people that came down to me, and they had proclivities, and they had cultures to which they were attached. So they had poetry that they passed down to their children and their children and their children and their children and their children. And there's a gap, there's a break in my family. I don't have a familial memory that passed down to me, a folklore that passed down to me, a religion. All of my grandparents were orphans. And so nothing was passed down to them in that manner. They're all self-made people. And so when I read all of these different things and there's only one that speaks to me, I call that connecting to my racial memory. There is something inside my body that's apart from me, the thinking, rational person, that connects with this poetry in a way that it doesn't with all this other poetry. With all the other poetry, I can recognize this is human, and then this I can recognize as me. And so it's an experience. I'm not here to tell you kill anyone. I'm just saying I tend to like Northern European, especially Franco-Norman and Scandinavian poetry. Motifs, visuals. Man with the burning shape of a gun, if I stole away now, I will reap a storm. And then this is irony, because I really like that line. And this is a Scandinavian band. This is a Scandinavian band. Oh, you almost got muted. Just fucking do it, Rachel. This is a Scandinavian band, but that line is Hebrew. The reap a sow a wind, reap a storm is from one of the prophets. Ezra, baby, the one that's called on by God to marry a wife from prostitution, right in the first chapter. No, I'm the truth speaker. I don't need to know all of your guys' truths. You don't know which ones are appropriate to share. Don't tell me what to do, Owen. You can come make me. Not as scared of you, Owen. Your name is Owen. I have never expected you guys to tell me the truth. Ha! I don't feel like listening to you either. You guys share truths with me that I wish you wouldn't. Fuck. I don't want to do do this for another 2 hours. I'm going to be honest with you. There just aren't enough super chats happening. It's not a hint, Rachel. You just tell me about like bowel movements and other things that I wouldn't. I'm just saying I'm getting anxious. So like, I thought that it was much closer to 11 a.m. when I turned on this live. I was getting anxious about just lying here doom scrolling. I didn't want to just sit and make shorts all damn morning. You're stupid, Rachel. Stop. Thank you for the likes, etc. I'm just starting to get like, I don't want to sit still doing what I could be doing, not sitting still for the next 2 hours. I'm going to be looking at the, Jesus, I'm going to be looking at the clock every 7 minutes. I don't want to dance. Nope. Wrong part of the balloon structure for me to be in a hot air balloon. I'd have to be in the hot air part. There it is. Sounds like you want to be talking to a therapist, Karen. I'm not paid well enough to have empathy for a stranger. Yeah, it sounds like you want to be talking to a therapist. Surrounded by deceivers, he says. Come leave the house with me. Break hearts just to feed the anger. The anger that used to be love. I have waited all my life for someone to get me out of here. I never knew the view from the edge of the world would look like this. I have waited all my life for someone to get me out of here. I never knew the view from the edge of the world would look like this. I like that everybody leaves when I start singing. Oh, he's doing something we should pay him for. We have to leave immediately. Hey, Jackie, what's up? From in shadows. He's not doing that. Oh, he's not doing it yet. It's still early. Not listening to the guitar solo always gets me. From in shadows into the black light, into the black light. From in shadows into the black light, into the black light. From in shadows into the black light, into the black light. From in shadows into the black light, into the black light. And there you go. That's where these voices come from. I don't have to sound good right now. I'm warming up. I'm technically practicing. Technically, I'm serenading a girl. She likes it. Feed me a lot of Macedon today, guys. No sawdust coming on down. It's too high for me, but whatever. For me, oh, down for me. If I'm ever gonna get these women's voices. No sawdust coming on down. I'm doing all right, creator. How are you? Mating ground with me. Oh, down to me. And luckily, you don't know these songs, so you don't know that I do anything but sound bad and whispery. You're like, if he had good mic and he were projecting, maybe he wouldn't sound like garbage. I'm okay with that. I do have a good mic. And I'll be sitting in Panera using it in fucking 2 hours. I'm gonna blow up my throat before then. Come down the road. What is it good? What all they go? What is it good? Where did I go? When it's been on the wall. And I love to hear that you're unwell. That's a bummer. It's getting cold outside, he says. Rachel, it's fine. You would have spent less time typing if you just said it. For me. You love Mr. T? I haven't watched enough Mr. T to actually be able to do a good impression of the man and the way he speaks. I know 2 things about Mr. T. I know I pity the fool, and I know that's all I know about Mr. T. I know 2 sound bites, and one of them isn't even him. One of them's a fucking theme song that I wouldn't be able to identify if I heard it. I just think that Bam, bam, bam. Well, I figured I've done two things that I know that people like. If you would like me to be honest about my creative process, and you guys can help me self-correct if I'm making a bad choice. But I know that you guys like two things that I do. I know that you like the Chocobo song. I read my Chocobo all day. I know that you guys like that. And I know that Rachel really liked when I did the ding dong motherfucker thing the first time I played Final Fantasy IX. And I hate Barrett. And so I thought, how could this guy be fun for me to pretend to be for a little while? Somebody called me Ned Flanders the other day. And I was like, okay, so if I did his doodly, if I did the way Ned Flanders talks, and I had the theme song for Metalocalypse, ding dong doodly, dong doodly doo, and a motherfucker at the end. I will have combined so many things in such an impossibly weird way that nobody will know my references unless I tell them. This is how I arrived at that. So thank you for liking that. Every time I do it, it makes me crack the fuck up. This is such a stupid fucking confluence of influences. And we're not supposed to have influences. I hope you do. Get me fucking demonetized. Get YouTube to kick me off. I'm trying to get YouTube to kick me off this platform and have been for 2 years. Not really, but the only thing I really know about YouTube comedy is that people really like recurring jokes. They really like it when you remember the things that you did that they like. So the only negative criticism I've ever heard anybody level at Neebs is that they don't deliberately do jokes multiple times. They don't deliberately say things that were funny multiple times. And so I know that one hit. So thank you for laughing at it. I think because I went back and I watched some of it. I said this a little bit, but I watched episode 5 a little bit, and I scrolled through episode 4 of my first time playing through Final Fantasy 7, and they didn't change much. I think that playing it straight up as an irreverent South Park style comedy makes the first act land. If you do not take this shit seriously or these people seriously at all, it lands. The plot lands. And Cloud makes sense. If you play Cloud as the only person with his head on straight, everybody else is just an absolutely insane cartoon character. You don't play it as a hyper serious anime, but you play a hyper serious anime character in a world that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to anybody. It lands in a way that it never has for me. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but that might be why the remake is so fucking protracted. Is because trying to make these people super serious anime characters breaks them on some level that naming them things like Dick Butt doesn't. I think that's because it's unfinished. I did that just because of the pathological demand avoidance. I'm an adult. Just say fuck. I know why they did it. But every time I see it, I'm just like, this does not make him a badass. It makes him a caricature of Samuel L. Jackson. And that's kind of racist. So I have to do it differently. I have to. So thank you for the positive feedback on that in a genuine way. Because I think about it, because every time there's always an old dude in in the dining room who looks at me like, was the motherfucker necessary? And I'm like, yeah, it really was. Every time I give him that look, like, you don't understand, it was. And then they look away and they don't give me an attitude about it every time I do it, because I'm clearly performing. There's clearly a reason. I'm doing this for a reason. Yes, I'm acting, Rach. I'm acting. On some level, I have to remind myself that Robert Downey Jr. got away with it. I'm just a dude playing another dude trying to be a dude, right? And I certainly didn't write this stuff. And I keep saying, I don't like this. I don't support this. It's like on some level I get why Chef quit South Park, right? Like it was funny for a while, then you're like, oh wait, this is harmful. Thank you. And so you guys know how much, like you guys, my Shagonauts especially, know how much I object to that style of comedy. So that I'm doing it is, it's my demand avoidance, my pathological demand avoidance. It's appropriate and I'm having a good time. So thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you guys are enjoying it too and that it watches back well, because I know the other one doesn't. I knew it wasn't going to watch back well when I was making it, and that's why I was saying you guys got to come and join it. Come watch it with me, because it's going to suck to watch back. And so thank you for all of the positive feedback. I don't get a lot of it. I get a lot less of it than you guys believe. I have to pee again. Thank you. That's not exactly what I want to be known for, but if it's what I'm known for, saying ding dong motherfucker and singing the Chocobo song, that dichotomy works for me. And being unafraid to do the Mughals as New York Italians. I've definitely had 8 ounces of water today. I might be drowning myself. That's why I'm chugging salt. God damn it. You fucking losers. I'm not worried about it, creator. Not anymore. Can't fix it. Just kill it. Can't fix stupid. Can't empathize with it. This is why kings used to have the right to execute in public anybody they felt like with impunity. They weren't going to have to pay the head price, or if they paid the head price, they were happy to do so. It's funny. Every time I show Gemini one of these lives, and I've done this thing, it always stops to point out that I've done a brilliant demonstration of what the Sacred King is supposed to do. This is my space. You guys don't see it because you don't know. You just don't know enough. But it's funny to me because it's deliberate. Some of you have pointed out that everything that I do is deliberate. Free too. Give me a sec. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Thank you guys for being here, though. We're doing a lot of bitching because I'm awake, and that's my personality. I bitch a lot. I've come to terms with that. Hey, take care of yourself, creator. Have a good day. Mud fucking everywhere. What are you getting excited about, Rachel? I'm sure I can. I'm not gonna. Heard that, Rachie. Great. Can you articulate to me why you want me to not use profanity? And why it's my problem? And why you think I'm incentivized to take requests from you? Can you articulate that to me? Because I can articulate to you why I can fucking talk however the fuck I feel like. And now you're giving me permission? This isn't gonna go well for you. If you can't articulate to me why I should modify my behavior for you, I'm not going to modify my behavior for you in any way. Modifying my behavior for you is not going to pay my lunch if you can't articulate why I will or why I should with dollars. You are not Tipper Gore. You are not wife of the vice president. You are not a tastemaker on my channel. I owe you nothing. This isn't monetized. You haven't watched an ad to be here. Tastemaker, correct. You like that? Well, the tastemakers pay the influencers. My granddad used to say anytime he disagreed with something that I liked, he used to say, well, you can't account for taste. Merriment? Well, merriment is what I'm doing when you guys see me and you call it joy. When I'm just dancing and singing, that's merriment. Arrows and words from the sky. I am a merrymaker. I am a contentment maker. The shaman was responsible for more than just healing broken bones. Yeah, when I talk about making my own fun, it means I want space to be a little merry up in this bitch. I'm good for smokes for a while. Yeah. Let it wiggle. Yeah, give me some room here to have fun, to be merry. Yeah, Michael, I have bipolar type 2. So what control I have over my emotions is tenuous at best. So yeah, I sing, or I act, or I go live, or I meditate, or I just sit and cry sometimes. My throat is craving the honey. My throat is a wreck. But yeah, I do want to open up my throat. And I gotta wait a couple hours. I gotta wait about another hour and 20 before I can really open up my throat. I'm not gonna shave anytime soon. Not until the wet just has my beard always feeling wet. I don't know what that means, Black Peter. I've never taken medication, Michael. My mother tried to put me on medication in 6th grade, and I said, I'm in charge of who I am. Ah, you see it, Black Peter. Why do I gotta be Black Vulcan? I wanted to be like Super Volt. Maybe, but Jeffrey Dahmer's cousin didn't hurt anybody. The way that cloud's coming by has me looking right here under the sky. And I left my home past the evening fires. In the blink of an eye, I had closed the door behind me. This song means more to me now than it did before I chose this tent. The vapor of old love will transfigure through a veil of clarity. What are you sorry for, Rachie? I sense my grave way below the mire. You beat me to it. Sorrow will find you. Its voice is given way to mine. Heart pumps death into our heredity. It wants to come with me. For every dream that is left behind me, I take a bow. With every war that will rage inside me, I hear the sound of another day in this vanishing life, return to dust. And every chance I pushed away into the night, time won't let go. It's got you in debt now, and it's got me crawling all the way back to the start. I swear that I saw you there. Your hands were reaching out for mine. Obligatory guitar solo. Thank you, Michael. Sorrow will find you. For every dream that is left behind me, I take a bow. With every war that will wage inside me, I hear the sound of another day in this vanishing life, return to dust. And every chance I pushed away into the night. I can never do the last part. I sense my grave way below the mire. Thank you. I don't always know the words, but thank you. That song has become a hymn to me since choosing this tune, or this tent. I don't know who Barry Allen is. Yeah, my throat misses the honey. It probably fills the gaps and the tears in my throat. I guess not, bud. Unless Barry Allen has like a Superman situation where he has another name. That's funny though. Because when I was 4 years old, The Flash was my favorite superhero. It has nothing to do, not a criticism in any way. It's just a fact. It's funny because it stuck in Subway, but it did not linger. Boom, boom, boom. Is this how he does his hair? That's how everybody did their hair in the early 90s, man. Boom, 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 boom. Women like long hair on dudes, but dudes hadn't figured out how to wash it or spend money getting it cut. With the lights down low, wound up like a baby, and your head hangs low. Soothe around me, my face. I won't do the harsh. It's hard for me not to sing Brent Hines. R.I.P. Brent. Too soon, buddy. Hoping to be the last. I don't know how you couldn't dance to this. The guitar is so fucking slithery. It feels like being stoned. Hold me close, don't let me go. Filled up with mother's milk. I don't know the words to the second verse. I don't know how you could not like Mastodon. I just don't know how you couldn't like it, man. They track the rhythm and the bass on the right, the drums in the middle, and the cymbals and the guitar solo on the left. And it's like you're at this show, because that's what their show sounds like. And so I just don't know how you're not wiggle dancing. Then around me, my face. I just don't know how, man. I don't know how people don't just eat this shit like fucking Xanax. Is it the harsh vocals? It's not all harsh. Go watch them live. I had a friend, Brock, if you're out there in the universe, I'm sorry I've been talking about you so much, but if you're watching this, I mean, I know you're out there in the universe, but when this record came out, this is The Hunter, this is The Thickening. It's so fucking nasty. But anyway, it's like watching the walls melt. Literally, it's what it feels like. It feels like the song is just melting around you. But anyway, it probably has something to do with the way the reverb trickles in the speakers. But he only liked hip hop and house music. It's all he would listen to. And so I bring him to Mastodon. I bring him to see Mastodon, and he loved it. He didn't like the harsh vocals, but he liked everything else. So maybe it's the... Okay, sorry about that. Shaggy business you don't really need to know about, but that I needed to take care of. I'm live earlier than normal. Real life stuff happens for me around this time of day. No big deal. We move on. I'm surprised, I'm genuinely surprised that more of you aren't curious about what it means to identify as Gnostic in your Christianity. So, yes, I don't feel like singing this song, so I should move on to one that I can hum. It's almost over. What do you mean, what's up? I am waiting for 11 o'clock to begin my day. And then I gotta read a thing for the believer tier on Patreon because I forgot. Oh my fuck. I'm fine. I'm anxious to get my day started. I'm hungry. I'd like to be making more money. Why are you anxious for me to get my day started? Am I hiring? No, I don't make enough money. This is what I do for money, Corvus. I don't know who that is. How peculiar. How bizarre. Never leave. I can't recall this moment in my life. You would never sleep at night if you knew what I'd been through. No, thank you, Alex. To trust far when I was gone. The problem was... What, do you think I'm going to stand up on camera, Rach, and forget that I have the blanket tied around my waist? Long today is when... Don't worry about it, Alex. I will regret that I came by. When did I say this? Girl, I tell you every day is just $50 right there in the Cash App. You hit the Cash App and I'll just send you a wanga wanga. I'm not secretive, I'm just not going to answer you. In my life, you will never... You're trying to get me kicked off YouTube. If we talked fitness, I can't imagine that you like the things I had to say, John. I don't know what that means, Brandon. I know, I'm telling you, if you want to see Mr. Winky, there are ways that you can see Mr. Winky. Gotta charge that earbud. I do not work out, no. I'm just saying, if that's what you want, there are ways that you could have that don't get me kicked off YouTube. Since my homeless what? No, John. I can't see you right now, Rachel. No. You're gonna get me kicked off YouTube. Please don't. You want to dance? Then dance. No one's looking. Have you been replaced by Amira? Did you and Amira do some kind of Freaky Friday body swap the other night while you two were the only people watching my channel and you were being quiet? Did lightning strike the internet and now you are Amira? That's actually a statement, Sams. No, she just always says she wants to dance. Every time she's in my chat, she talks about wanting to dance and she uses those little emojis. I'm not fit. That remains a statement, Sams. It's not a question. I don't understand, Sams. The things that you're saying aren't English to me. My seriously broken left clavicle. Sure, Rach. I'm not subbing to you, no. Because you're not speaking English. You're not... That, like, how don't you understand is the first cromulent sentence that you've written. I can't sub to you if I wanted to from this position. No, orange circles. That sucks for you, I guess. I don't know why I have to say this, but I don't get paid enough to empathize with strangers. No, thank you. I don't know you. I certainly don't know what god you worship. Yeah. What do you mean, Shadow? That's what I do. What is what I do? I don't know what you're sorry for, Rach. Yeah, I don't care what that gopher said. The geese are back. They're not around. They're not visible. They were just flying overhead. They were just flying by. They were actually headed, if they were headed north, they were going that way. They wouldn't have been visible to me anyway, if I got out of the tent. I'm not camping, and this is pre-recorded, Orange. You want to be a goose? Things only a female can say. Hello, Chris. I don't like au jus or French dips. I don't like roast beef. Winter's over. I haven't been camping since I was in Boy Scouts, and I didn't enjoy it. No. Sure, I like music, Chris. Bow down down, but down down down, but down down down, but down down down, but down down down. Nice. You did get to hear them. Very cool. It's uncomfortable, it's expensive. I'm glad you got to have that moment, Rachie. That's why we do this. No part of camping is free. So I was talking earlier about how I resonate with Scandinavian themes, poetry. I didn't know it until I came across this record. This is Amon Amarth's Versus the World. It might be called Death and Fire, but I think it's called Versus the World is the name of the record. Was that a tear? Oh, thank God I didn't put my boots there. No, that's definitely a tear. How much did the tent cost, Shadow? Odin hung from the world tree, whose roots no one knows. He hung there for 9 whole days. He hung there by Gungnir. He cried out to the depths in agony. Reaching out, he grasped the roots before falling back to the abyss. He gave himself unto himself in a world of shearing pain, so that we all may live our lives by the wisdom that he gave. And I went, that resonates more with me than some Jewish guy. How much did the materials cost for the tent, Shadow? You doubted him and spread their lies across the world with sword in hand. You raped our souls. You stole our wives. Upon the words of a manly man, you listened to a manly God and put your faith in his single word. Your power trip was paid in blood. In kindness's name, you spilled our blood. How much did the string for the fish cost? I refuse to submit to your God because he is gone. I know it's mine, and it is time. It's time to rise and free our minds. Well, cost next to nothing and cost nothing are not the same thing. I see why you're homeless, Orange. Let me die without fear, because I have lived without it. So shut your mouth and spare my ears, because I'm fed up with all your bullshit. After 1,000 years of oppression, let the Vikings rise again. Let the world hear these words once more. O save us, O Lord, from the wrath of the Norsemen. Let the world hear these words once more. Save us, O Lord, from the wrath of the Norsemen. And I went, yeah, that resonates with me. Don't turn boys to bend like weeds or turn the other cheek, he says. Grasp the runes. They're ours to use. From the glass house throws stones. Shadow, you can't take both sides of the argument, bud. It's not satire if we don't know you. You aren't on camera, pal. Boom. Everything costs money. Boom, ba-da-da-dum. Boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Maintaining the grounds from which you poach those fish costs money. Keeping that water clean so the fish can be safe to eat costs someone money. It may not have cost you money, but that's why the king's land was punishable by death if you poached from it. Everything is expensive. Everything has an expense associated with it. Expensive is a relative term. What you think is expensive and what I think is expensive is relative to the money that we have available to us. I can't lie either, Album. I can't boil my own water. So far, so good. Album. It absolutely is not free. Yeah, you buy gold. I'm sure you do, Shadow. Here, Rich. This is easily soluble. I've just been passing the time because YouTube likes it when I let that happen. God disguise the behind. I don't know the words. All intertwined. To nothing's left here. I think a lot of people on the internet believe the performative lie of the YouTuber, TikToker, and cam personality in general, that we're doing this for our amusement and that you're keeping us company, when no, building that personal relationship and letting you believe that is how you give us lots of money. And here's the thing, I don't want Shadow or Orange's money. I wanted them to go away, and they didn't. It's all work. Performative lies are still work. When that girl is sending you those fucking emails on OnlyFans, she's working, boy. Hustle, hustle, hustle. If you're not making money in an hourly wage, you're hustling. That's why after the 1980s, everybody was looking for an hourly wage. Forgot the advice. So you can complain, oh, you can no longer work a job and stay there for an entire career and retire on your incompetence. And it's like, right, because now everybody wants that job. All this killing time is killing me. After all this time, I found I'll be killing time for eternity. The people who come by and ask, like, how's your day? How are you? Who are you? They don't stay and they don't pay. They're actually hoping that you guys will pay them for hanging out with me. They're hoping that my tithes will be so great that I'll pass out free money to the crowd. Gnosis from the pleroma, sure. Secret idiosyncratic knowledge from the fullness of being, sure. Coming back here, this is where I live. This is where I begin and where I end every day. Well, I can't know where I'm going after death, but one doesn't go into darkness after death. I don't know. That's correct, Rachel. I wish you wouldn't send anything. Money, if anything. Send money. Because energy doesn't mean fuck all. You can't even move the air with your voice. I don't want your energy. Exactly. When you tell people that you don't want their platitudes and their bullshit, they just say negative and hurtful shit. Yeah. I remember I was living in my car for a while in 2019, 2020, as 2019 became 2020. And I was driving up a highway and I had this extra blanket. It was a yarn, some crocheted, and it was in rainbow colors, and it was lightly raining. It was lightly raining, and I saw this guy who was panhandling on the side of the road, and I drove, as I was stopped there by him, and I said, "Hey man, I'm homeless too, I'm living in my car, but I've got this blanket," and I reached it out to him, and he goes, "I do not want that." And I said, "Okay, have a good day," and I took off. He didn't want what I had to give. That didn't make him harming me in any way. This is why I used to identify as a Gnostic Christian. The people who think of themselves as Gnostics are the very worst people on the planet because they think they have it figured out and they know they're better than you. But really, they're just edgelord little baby boys, tiny little micropeckers who give energy. But what is energy? Energy powers my phone. He's not giving me that. Fuck off. Hello, Gixer. What's up? I think you can see it. This is why I do this. Women talk all the time about how dudes will go from loving and doting to I'm going to actually murder and rape you. The flip of a switch. Chicks talk about it all the time and women go, well, not me. I've never seen a man do that. It's raining. Thank you for asking. I wasn't going to react appropriately. I was thinking about other things. Flip of a switch. All you have to do is tell them no. No thanks. You can even say it politely. Flip of a switch. From, I'm sending you positive vibes, man. We're best friends, bro. Let's hang out, smoke a joint. I'll suck you off. It'd be great, bro. To, well, yeah, get a job, hippie. Flip of a switch. And all you have to do is be moderately attractive to them. From dote to hate, boom, like that. Because if you won't accept their devotion, you'll accept someone else's, and that is unacceptable to them. Take your devotion and shove it directly up your ass. I do not want it. Sit on it and spoon. Ooh, look at that. I've got another hour of, no, that's not an hour. I got another 15 or 20 minutes of broadcast left in me. Ooh, Meshuggah. Meshuggah, very angry. Ooh, it's even called The Faultless. You ever paid attention to Meshuggah fans and noticed that they're what the lyrics are about? You ever notice how many fan bases feed the lyricist with everything he needs, and they have no idea that the "you fucking suck" that he's screaming out into the audience is not for the audience to scream out at the world, it's screaming it at the audience. A Meshuggah is a crazy person in Yiddish. So Meshuggah means crazy. See, the difference in me and your granddad is I'm cultured. That's right, put up your blue squares. This is where somebody scrolls back and goes, wait a minute, didn't you call Jesus some Jewish guy? I wouldn't say they're made up, no. Below the belt. It wasn't below the belt. I said that I'm toothless and homeless and jobless and have no prospects. I'm just cultured. It's the only difference. Yeah, I would say I'm a drug addict, sure. You want to be a storm chaser, little Gixer? I do not watch my subs work, dude. This is not Twitter. Okay, well, you guys get one mulligan. Nina doesn't know this about me. I have pathological demand avoidance. The fastest way to get told fuck yourself in my presence is to tell me what to do. For sure, Rachie. Thank you for keeping me company. I could actually start getting on my feet and out of the tent now. And you could have put a $1,000 super chat on that, Nina, and I would have told you the same thing. Rephrase that. Don't call me sunshine, by the way. And let go. Take care, Rachie. Nothing to observe. I almost forgot I was bottomless and stood up. Yep. Okay, Gnostic Christianity was a sect of Christianity. They weren't called that. It's what scholars and academics call them today. But they were sects of Christianity in the early 500 years of the first 500 years of Christianity that believed very, very different things than what you do. And part of the things that you believe as a standard Christian, or that you have heard of if you're not a practicing Christian, those things came to be by rejecting the things that the Christians wanted, and that rejection included violent persecution. Yeah. Part of why the Nicene councils needed to happen, and further councils, in fact, the Arian heresy is not what I believe, but the Arian heresy was also tangled up in Gnosticism. So the idea, the Christology of Jesus that they arrived at the Nicene Council, where Jesus is a human being who was born divine and died and ascended to the Godhead that people understood the unspeakable name of the Lord to have been before. They arrived at that by rejecting Arianism and then all of the other Gnostic stuff, because that other stuff that we call Gnostic, it all had names like Valentinianism, Sethianism. They all had names, they all had teachers. And so when you're reading like Paul or I don't remember what the other book was that I was thinking of recently, but when they talk about these teachers, he's talking about these teachers out in the world who are telling you crazy things about Jesus. Well, these are the things that you should know. Those people were Gnostic, is what we call them today. Christianity, well, this is the politics of Christianity, is kind of what I'm talking about. Before the people who won the politics, they were politicking against Gnostics. So like Valentinian Gnosticism, Valentinus was a runner-up to the Pope, to the bishopric of Rome. And he was a full-on Gnostic from our definitions. So the politics just to be the bishop of Rome were intense for hundreds of years. And some of the things that they believed were that Jesus wasn't a real person, that Jesus was a vision, that he was a spirit body, like an astral projection, that he was like a ghost that people saw, but he never lived. That was one of the things they believed. One of the other things that they believed is that the crucifixion did not happen. That was a metaphor that was invented later. That is supported by, their opinion is supported by the order that the books were written in. I used to practice their faith system, and I used to orient myself spiritually using their metaphors and reading their books. Yeah, the Nagamadi library. When I would go to read scripture, instead of picking up a Bible, I would read the Nagamadi library. I would read their library of scripture, and I would play it against what I knew from what I grew up with, having read those books and having listened to scholars talk about it. I've been religious my whole life. I've been trying to orient myself as closely to God, and it is raining, and I'm going to be just fine, but thank you for your concern. Yeah, 223 is less than 250. I have Kent. I used to reach to their texts, and I spent my, what we would think of like religious downtime, so like your church time where you go and you listen to teachers speak. I would go and I would seek out people speaking about the Gnostics as they lived. The different schools, because Gnosticism isn't a real thing. It's not one thing. But it is lots of different schools with lots of different teachers and lots of different opinions, lots of different libraries even. And so I just spent my time one at a time trying to figure out, well, where does my soul fit? What does I was talking about this earlier as regards like Scandinavian poetry. I spent a lot of time in my life asking what feels natural for me. It's an umbrella term is exactly what it is. I avoid that phrase, but it's a total umbrella term. Yeah. It's a catch-all for everything that's not either Eastern Orthodoxy, Arianism, Catholicism, Coptic Christianity, or specific schools like Pauline Christianity, or we've lost some of these schools. So there was a Johannine Christianity that we no longer have access to historically, but it existed because they talk about it. I've been interested in this my whole life. So in high school, my sophomore year of high school in English, our teacher gave us we were going to do a prepared speech, and she wanted us to do 15 minutes or maybe even 5 minutes on just an old-timey hobby. And I said, okay, well, it was technically an old-timey hobby to do Bible study. Can I do a summary of the formation of Christianity? So she gave me the go-ahead, and I did an hour on it across 2 class periods. So this is just something that I've always been deeply interested in. That's correct, Jeremy. And because of the internet, I am what I am now, and former, and I put that there because I do want to talk about it, but it's impossible to just open the door and just start talking about without being just rejected for open heresy. Because the people that think they know the things that I've spent the last 20, upward of 30 years trying to understand, so I could orient my practice in that way, so I could help other people orient their practice in the direction that they wanted to. I don't want anybody to be like me. I'm not asking anybody to be like me. If it works for you, great. I'll show you how I got here, but I'll also show you how other people got to where they are, because the umbrella could also be a tent, right? Thank you, Brandon. And so I have run across the last decade of YouTube becoming more and more ubiquitous in people's homes. I run across a lot of people saying really dumb and harmful bullshit and thinking that they're liberating people from a life of suffering, and all they're doing is damning them to eternities of suffering. Because if you get trapped in a reincarnation cycle of being punished for not understanding that you were supposed to do a thing, and in every life you keep making that mistake because you keep being attracted to these teachers, because in every future and every past there are these teachers, and nobody stands up and goes, okay, everybody's fucking wrong. Can we just agree that it's not the Delphic, when the Delphic oracle told Socrates that he's wise because he knows that he knows nothing. That's wrong. It's not that individually we know nothing. It's that collectively we really don't have anything finished. Everything is a work in progress. And until we agree on that, we're all fucked. All of us are fucked if reincarnation is real. And so if what we want is to get the fuck out of this so there's room for our children, right, to finish their cycles, and that's a pathology in the ancient scriptures, then we have to admit that this is a work in progress. No, I'm not camping. Right now I'm preaching, Zeus. Jesus. Hey, Jackie, I almost missed you. What I'm doing is called prophesying, actually. And Rach has been saying for a minute that she's going to match every super chat in the next 5 minutes plus $5. Because in 5 minutes is technically when I usually end these to put on my shoes and get out of here. I'm ignoring that because that has nothing to do with me, and I'm not asking for it. So if you want to get your valor in now, right? You want to get your honor in now, get it in now. Thank you for asking. I've gone and forgot your name. Oh, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for asking. Thank you for engaging with the prompt of today's discussion. I am very well informed. And that's the correct word. Thank you, Jeremy. I don't know everything, but I can correct your AI. I know that much. I'm going to be leaving in the next few minutes, yeah. Thank you very much for that, Jeremy. Humbly, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Jackie, thank you. All right, Rach, you're on the clock, or the spot. Thank you, Jackie. You do that too often. How's your lady? You gotta just jump in and tell me, girl, especially when I'm in the middle of a talkie talk. You know I'll make time for you. All right, you're on the spot for $30, Rach. I'm gonna eat well this month. Next month, hey, thank you guys. You're gonna make me blush. I didn't do this for the money. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. The first is always the closest on my heart. And thank you for letting me know that you were scrolling on before you left. even if I never see you again. He said he was leaving. Even if I never see you guys again, I will remember. You don't understand. You're not in my texts. I'm going to be talking about this tonight. I'm probably going to be talking about this with Gemini because my brain won't let it go. Thank you. Oh, I calculated that wrong. You were on the hook for 35, but I'll let you off for that extra 5 there, Rachie. Thank you. I have been homeless since September of 2024. It's 2026 now. Thank you, Rach. I think I missed hearting one of these. Thank you, Rachie. You guys have touched my heart and my life in a way that wouldn't have been. I would have been a little bummed about today without Jeremy, and I'm never bummed actually because Rach is always around. But without Jeremy and Jackie, I would have left away from this bummed out. I'm in Ohio. I don't need anything. If you want to help a brother eat lunch, my Cash App is in the description of my channel or whatever that's called, the About Me or whatever. I don't know the names of this stuff, guys. I try to remain unsavvy so you know that I'm not thinking about it a lot. And if you want to make sure that I can bet on my future, that's what the super chats and memberships are for. Memberships, Patreon subs allow me to bet on my future. I don't like leaving when money starts happening because I don't like it. It feels rude. It feels like I went, aha, my hat's full and I'm leaving. It's just gonna take me a little bit longer than it might have to say goodbye, and luckily I've got the rain to justify that. I also feel like I should leave because I don't want that, people thinking that I'm staying to get more. I'm not here for the money. Yeah, for 3 of them. But I woke up early, and I've still got 15 minutes before the pizza store even opens. I really do not want you to come anywhere near my person. Have a piece. I'm in a tent in the rain. Hey, that's what it's about, Tully. People tell me all the time, "Hey, keep your head up." Like my head's not up. Like they don't. Like I'm singing and dancing and having a good time. I am enjoying my life. We were talking about it earlier. The room that I'm trying to find in my life is for merriment. I'm great. I have a piece of fish. Maybe I have Kent, but you've been talking a big game for like a long time now, maybe 15 minutes. So your opinion and your words are devaluing the more you use them. I listen to songs like this all day. I've listened to this song, The Sheethead. It's called Be Still and Know. And he says things like, well, I scrolled too far back, so we'll just get there. But he says things like, and the sun will rise. Day will break through blackest night. He says, is it hopeless? Will the fear take control? Don't succumb. I think he says, don't succumb to the numbing feeling of defeat. And I have no idea what he's yelling right there. I think he says, force the head of Goliath back in its place. I don't know you well enough to accept suggestions. piece of fish. And you don't know me well enough to know that I don't want you in my presence. Dawn will break through blackest night. There it is. No idea what he says there. Listen to it glow, maybe? The fear shall pass. We still... Be still and know. That's what he says. The fear shall pass. Be still and know. No, it's rude to think that I want you in my presence this early into knowing you, and it's extremely rude to think that you're going to change my sonic set and setting without knowing me. It's extremely rude to want to change, just interrupt and say, hey, I don't know you, but change the way that you manage your emotions. That's rude. That's extremely rude. That's extremely invasive. You don't know me, and you don't know what I listen to music for. And so when I say, I don't know you well enough to accept recommendations from you, and you don't know me well enough to give them, you don't even know what I'm listening to. Besides Machine Head. But do I trust you more than I trust YouTube's algorithm? No. YouTube knows me. I've been working on this algorithm for 5 years. Looks like the clock's ticking, dude. No, I've been honest with you for the very good reason that you are an example of how not to behave. You destabilize me. Send me into fits that could go violent. What about Solomon, Drewski? Salmon? I don't know how that's the answer to a question. Okay, that's cool. Alright, well, that 30 seconds was a minute ago. I hate that, Jackie. I'm sorry. Yeah. Positive. I'm sorry to learn that she's unwell. I think about you guys. I think I was talking about you last night. Instead of racing hearts, The things we'll never let go of. I'm sorry, Jackie. I'm not in Seattle, no, Larry. If torpor had left my soul, the voices would sing, and I would submit my heart to the sentiments within, and just let go of the night. But it's all abiding here. I'm sorry, Jackie. I'm just experiencing Jackie's pain with her. I don't know her pain, but you don't need to know everything, bud. You're not paying her. Maybe it's sad for her to talk about. Maybe she doesn't really want to talk details. Maybe she just wants to share with somebody who cares that something has changed. Unfortunately, Kent, I know better than you do, buddy. It's not my story to tell either. The stream is almost over. I don't know that I know the words to this, Jackie. But the moment you walked in the room, my friend, this is for you, Jackie. My demons, they all went away. Be careful, they're only asleep for a while. Pretending there's nothing to say. Found something in the corner there. Material watching me. Build up the walls around this house, and dig up the rot in the floor. Lock up the entrance with brick and stone. And mortar that's made from coal. Crawl into this hole I've made. Transform these feelings of fear. I won't write it. I'll remember. And I can't get you off my mind. I won't write it. I'll remember. And I can't get you off my mind. Hi, Hippo. It becomes inapropos after. Loose lips have fallen on deaf ears. Loose lips have not fallen on deaf ears. It doesn't have to be the way you feel about her. I know she loves you very much. When I was a little boy, I was maybe 4th or 5th grade. We were in a car accident. We were broadsided by a car at high speed. And my dad was severely concussed. His head was whipped into the side window. And I can remember being a little boy, right? And my dad didn't know who I was, and I can remember that devastation. Because, when he couldn't remember me, I asked him, if he could remember his favorite football player. And he could remember Larry Zonka. So, he was still in there because he could remember the things he loved. And so, she remembered you, and it's a big deal. And so I'm happy for you that you have that. Because my great-grandmother, the matriarch of the Dennis line, she left with Alzheimer's. And no, my dad didn't love me. That it really affected my family. That she wasn't really in there anymore. So, I'm glad. No, my dad doesn't love me. My dad resents me and he regrets that I know it. Yeah, because then it's just a body. And so we're hit with that. This body is a prison for the thing that we're in love with. And we're hit with the realization that so are we, that we're trapped here. And so on some level, I'm sad for both of you that she wasn't able to escape. Before you had to grapple with that realization. And so I'm sorry. It's complicated, Kent. And it's not really thematically resonant with what Jackie's going through. Jackie, I've been holding back tears for hours. I wake up crying. I wake up. The only way I get through these is to bubble up the anger. I'm happy to sit and cry with you, Jackie. It's hard what we're going through. And it's isolating and destabilizing in its own way. And it doesn't help that Soen is singing about death. And so this song is called Lethian, which means having to do with forgetfulness. I'm not upset that you're gone, Jackie. Like I said, I might talk about you, but it's always to keep you present in our thoughts and the future too, so that people who watch will think, well, I hope Jackie's well. And so when they watch this, after me thinking about it for 3 days, we'll go, okay, Jackie's suffering, so am I, but Jackie's getting through it, so can I. I have actually had a cookie every day except yesterday since I've met you, and the only reason I didn't have a cookie yesterday is because I've eaten all of the kitchen sink cookies they make since I've met you, Jackie. Yeah, I have a cookie every day if they're available. I'm not paying $5 for anything less than a kitchen sink. It's $5 that I can part with. I can find $5 a day. Rach wants me to have $20 worth of meals twice a day, so I can find $40 or I can humiliate myself for $50. That's a joke. But you guys are thinking about me all wrong. I'm not a prostitute. And the 2,000 people that sub to my channel, they're not all paying me a minimum of $5 every time they want to talk to me. I don't identify as homeless, look at the ghost, but I live in this tent, in this ravine behind this coals. Thank you, Jackie. I hope you know that my love goes out to you. You're like a sister to me. I'm sorry you're going through this, but I'm proud of you. I call myself an ascetic monastic. For as long as I can, Jackie. Yes. There are two things that you could learn from Jackie, I of Kent. The first is that the best dopamine hit is doing something selfless that benefits someone else. The second thing that you can learn is that the world gives us what we give it. And so when we're free with our money, and we're free with our love, and we're free with our kindness, and we're free with what makes us, us, the world will be free with us too. But that's a double-edged blade, and Jackie will tell you that not everyone is nice to her. And not everybody has nice things to say about it, do they, Jackie? Not everybody has nice things to say about your baking, but that doesn't stop you, does it? Somebody always has to give you a passive-aggressive comment, don't they? Someone. It doesn't matter who that day. Someone has to be like, too much salt in your caramel today. Just somebody has to say something shitty, and you just have to realize that it has absolutely the fuck nothing to do with the cookie. I'm learning this about myself. I might have been doing this to Final Fantasy VII for 20 years. 30 years. Everyone complained they didn't give you a pass. Right. That's my point. That's my point, Jackie. Is the one day that you needed a pass, 0 people gave it to you. And it makes you stronger. It doesn't make you give up on macaroons. It's like, all right, you motherfuckers, do you want macaroons? I'll give you macaroons. I'll slap my fucking titties all over these fucking macaroons, and you're gonna fucking like it. I realize it doesn't really work if you don't have a dick. But that's what separates the best of us from the rest of us. It really is. You tell Tom Brady he can't throw a slant, and he's like, I can't throw a slant? Fuck you, I'll throw this slant right through this fucking guy. Boom. And cat hair, she says. How I know you're Greek and Southern. I know you are. You just put extra butter because Southern and cat hair because you're a Greek witch on some level. I know you, Jackie. Opa. Reject what other person's help. I'm not building a bridge. I don't need people to volunteer to just show up and give me their labor. Just give me your money. Give me the fruit of your labor from someone else. It's like, okay, the way philanthropy works is you have independent wealth and you need to get rid of it or you have to give it to the government. Okay? You guys don't have independent wealth. I do not want money pigs. Okay? So this is how it works, okay? Traditionally, before everybody became a money pig to credit, the way it worked, let me just teach you for a second about how this works, how you do what you want to do. You have your job, that pays your taxes, that pays for your house, that you use to provide for your children. The taxes pay for the education, for the roads. This provides for the children. If you want to be seen as a big man in the community on YouTube, in your actual neighborhood, that requires that you take the money from your other source of income and you spend it like it's going, like it grows itself. You spend that like it's just coming to you for free because it's your other source of income. That's what you're spending at strip clubs and in bars. That's what you're spending when your friend's like, hey, I think I'm going to open a business. And you're like, yeah, here's $2,000. I don't care what you do with it. That's where that money comes from. It comes from your other source of income. Your job is meant to make as little money for you as you need to provide for the fucking kids, so you're not giving it to the goddamn government. If you don't have
a source of income that's building itself, and you're not a female, don't give me your money. Don't even think about it. Because what you're going to do is lose your job. And now I have lost a revenue stream. I'm not your fucking child. That's why I don't accept help from the people who don't have independent wealth. Or women. Women make that money to give it away. Because traditionally, women only had jobs to be the secondary revenue stream, so the husband had money to spend on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. Mom had all those nice clothes and bitched that dad wasn't buying more of them for her because she had the job. Yes, women enjoy making the money to give it away. You will never date a girl. You will never date a girl who does not have the argument with her mom. I guarantee you Jackie has this argument with her mom every Christmas where she's like, Mom, give me the fucking money. Stop buying me fucking kitschy bullshit and just give me the $50. I have never met a girl who's not like that. And if you're not like that, Jackie, you're a fucking unicorn. I'm not pointing a finger at you as a negative thing. We like giving away the money. Women like giving away the money because they like going, hey, I worked for this. Here's $5. I worked hard for that. And it means nothing to me because I did the labor because I wanted to, because it's a skill that I have. That's why women accept 60% less, because they still enjoy working. They enjoy having a skill and getting better at things, and they enjoy the environment. I don't know what it is, Kent. Christmas and Easter every year she argues with her mom about, I don't want the kitschy bullshit, Mom. I know you love kitschy bullshit. But she had that argument with her mom. I guarantee you if you catch her on the phone with her mom, I guarantee you they argue about that shit. It's generational, it's happened since the beginning of time, and it's what makes women absolutely lovable. I love this about women. Love women for this. But men, stop fucking emulating it. I will take it when it's helpful, Kent. When it's helpful. I have loved all of the women that I've fallen in love with very deeply. And I have sat and I've held their hand while they argue with their mom. And I've sat and I've put my hand on their thigh while they bitch about not wanting this kitschy statue. And then I've put the kitschy statue in a nice place in the house. And they've learned to like it. Every relationship I've ever been in. If the help is actually helpful, Kent. These people are like, let me come to your place let me come to your home and give you a bunch of shit you don't have space for, is not helpful. The money is helpful. Because, again, like the mother-daughter relationship, the daughter's like, the kitschy thing is nice to decorate my house, but I actually kind of need to get my tires rotated right now, Mom. Whereas Dad will buy you the coupon for the get your car fixed every Christmas, and you don't even think about how great that gift is. You don't think about how unique and individualized to you, the woman that is, because your dad loves you like you are the only thing in the universe. And that's why I say, men, if you're working a job and you don't have a child, you're fucking doing it wrong. If you're working an hourly wage and you don't have a child, you're fucking doing it wrong. And that might be what Final Fantasy VII is teaching me. Now that my brain has been burst open by accidentally having fun with it last night, that might be what the game is trying to teach us. Get the fuck out of this city. It sucks here. What fish person? I don't know. Kent, you have a memory of something that happened today that I don't. So you're gonna have to start at the beginning. Jesus may or may not have lived, Devin. One more creepy fucking clown. It's always something you guys fucking hate too. It's always something that terrorized your fucking dreams and they had no idea. I dated this one girl. Her mom painted her a fucking clown, and for whatever reason built it into the fucking ceiling over her bed because she thought she liked it so much. And so she had clown nightmares for decades. Why would I want? Because he wants to come here. I don't want his help. I don't want the help of a person with that temperament. I explained that to that person. Moms are like that, man. And it works with sons. It would have worked on me. I'd have been like, oh, my mom loves me. It's the thing out there. And little girls are like, why does mom like me at all? It's beautiful. Freud made it weird and sexual. Like, that she wants to fuck the dad, so she needs to kill. And it's like, no. It's like, what does this old woman want with my friendship? It's weird. But from the perspective of the mom wants to have the same relationship with you that she would have with a son. And it's different, man. Women are different. You're just fucking different. Every one of you is individually different, is what I'm saying. But you're all the same in that your relationship with your mom is like that. And dudes never say anything about it. Because dudes, well, never anymore they don't say anything about it. Because the dudes who noticed it only said things about it to be negative. Like, go be with your mom. You hate that bitch anyway. And like that kind of relationship. And I never saw that. I did so much of, your mom loves you so much. I know that you hate the fucking clown. We can sell the... No, I know that she'll look to see if you sold the fucking clown. Here, go buy the thing that you wanted. And that's what boyfriend's role has always been, is to buy the thing that the girl wanted her mom to buy in the first place. You are filling the role, not of dad, but that she wanted to have with her mom. Because her dad is supposed to still be alive. You can't fill that role. Because he wanted to fuck me, I have Kent. He was hoping that if he got in my presence, I would enjoy him enough to go into a hotel with him and let him suck my cock. I said this explicitly to him. And this is why lesbian relationships have always made more sense for cohabitation than homosexual relationships. Always. In every civilization in the past, lesbian relationships... homosexual relationships between women, whether they're lesbian, bad death or not, just two women that live together, work together, give each other gifts, and go out into the community to be adult women apart from a man. This has always made more sense. That's why in Japan they actually call older sisters market women. Yes. Women like to fight because it's sexually selective. Because men are so aggressive. Men who like to fight like a woman who wins those fights with those women. And knows how to turn it off for him or turn it on in the bedroom. It's a whole thing. All of this makes sense if you remember that we used to live in fucking trees. Two women with sharp sticks can absolutely defend themselves from the average man. I believe that about you too, Jackie. But that's why there are more gay women in the South in general. No, he didn't say that thing, and just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean that he's not out to get me. I know how men date, dude. The only reason a man is willing to get in a car and drive for 5 hours is for sex. I should have muted you like 30 minutes ago anyway, Kent. I'm never going to see that money you were promising. Right, Jackie, that's why I'm single. Because these women want me to cross the line, and I'm absolutely not gonna. Rachel is absolutely Convinced. I know she is. She's not going to say it. But she's absolutely convinced that I'm texting one of these girls, and I am 100% not. I'm not actually single. I'm not single in the conventional sense, no. I am married in spirit. But we can't be together. We can't be together. And so she's just absolutely convinced that I'm tearing through this town, just finger banging every chick in town. Well, we have a thing because I asked her to marry me, Jackie. But we can't be together. Not anymore. She was. She broke up with me, and it has to stick. It has to stick. For now, anyway. For now. Because if it doesn't stick, then I'm using her and I'm manipulating her. And any kind of positive change that she makes for herself in the interim was for me to stay my girlfriend, not for me because she needed to make those changes for us to be on even footing. And I can't be with her while she's also my primary caregiver. No, she's not close by either. Well, she would not think that there's nothing wrong if I finger banged one of these women. She would absolutely see that as a violation of trust and as me trying to get back at her. She's also right that she can't find out if it happens. And she's gonna find out. Long distance relationships are difficult. That's why it has to stick for now. Until I make enough money that I can provide a home so that her income is secondary to our ability to survive, she can't actually be my girlfriend. The relationship dynamic is too lopsided. And I am a stubborn mule of a man. So until I can say, sit the fuck down, your money means shit to me, and she can believe it because I've got my own and I'm not going hungry in what she thinks is to spite her, we can't be together. Because she's used to men that when she tugs on the rein just a little bit, they leave or they jump too. And I'm not that guy. I'm gonna pull. That's why she was telling that woman that showed up and wanted to boss me around. She's like, it's not gonna work. He's seen my titties and he still tells me no. Hello, Skilla. Right. She's older than I am. And so it's just gonna take time. Time that neither of us may have. I may not have 5 years. I don't know. Yeah, she said that. I love her too. And that's something that these women aren't going to understand. You don't understand. For maybe you do, Jackie, but men don't understand that if one of these women, one of the servers at one of the places that I go, one of the women who works at one of the places that I go and hang out, A, knows what I do for a living, or B, understands that I'm just putting my fingers in her to prune them while I wait for the woman that I love, it's going to make them feel less than human. And that's not fair. No matter how fun our experience is, they're always going to know that my heart is someone else's. Well, it's, yeah, consider it is what I am. I like these women, and I like the relationships that I have with the counter or the table between us. I do, very much. And so when I say I'm not going to cross that line, I'm not. Because let's say that I do. I stick my fingers in one of them. And it's a great time. We have a great time. And she has a great time. And then one of the others gets upset about it. And then we stop. And now she's upset about it. Like I say, I don't want to tonight. And now she's upset about it. My service is going to suffer. The kitchen is going to make my food less well. They're going to bring my water with less enthusiasm. My environment is going to change in an unpredictable way. And so I like the relationship that we have. Because I don't know if you've ever diddled someone that maybe you don't want anyone to know you've diddled, but here they come in an environment in which you feel like you're usually in control, and now you're suddenly looking at and thinking about them in ways that are pretty obvious that you've diddled. Yeah, don't shit where you eat. It's not a good idea. I was hooking up with a girl that I worked with for a while, and the sex was incredible, and it was awesome that on my days off she would come home, or come to my home from a shift that we would normally work together, horny as fuck. Fun, but disastrous for my employment situation. Because when it turned out that I was buying weed from one of the kids that I worked with, because I was taking my money and I was spending it in a way that I thought was building the community around me, whatever. He came over while she was blowing me one day. And so she's in my room, totally buck-ass naked. I'm smoking weed with him, and then he leaves. I finish her. She goes to work and tells him that she was there. And that she knew that both that I was buying weed from him, and that how he smokes weed, and how I like my dick sucked. And that changed everything about my working environment. She really did like me. And she wanted everybody to know that she really liked me. And I kept telling her, nobody here can know. I kept telling her, we can't be a thing. She was technically in high school. She was kind of dumb. She was 19 when I met her, and she graduated. She was going to be 20 when she started university. But I kept telling her, you're too young. The 50 for the pick? Yeah, I'll send you a picture of my dick for $50. No, I can't play guitar. I can play a little bass, but I wouldn't be able to protect a bass from the moisture of this environment. Well, you don't know how old I was, Tyler. I was 30, 31. She was 19, whatever. We worked together. She was 19. And if you saw her tits, you'd understand. Then when she said, hey, do you want to go like have dinner sometime? I was like, sure, but no sex stuff. And she was like, yeah, totally. So we have dinner, I take her back to my place, we're watching a movie, and she starts rubbing her butt on me. I'm like, do you want to do sex stuff? She's like, no. I'm like, okay. She does it again. I'm like, you do that again, and I'm going to grab your tits. That's what's going to happen. Your wife would like it? Okay. Okay, Jackie. Heard. Yeah, Schaefer, I don't identify as homeless, but I live in this tent. And so just to move it along, sure. She's sick, not dead. Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah. I hear you. It's uncomfortable, but I get it. I get it. I do get it. That's because of who and what I am. I'm like, yeah, okay. Fine. I can make that work. I know. I remember. Because the thing is, I legitimately, Rach might be bad, but she's told me that if I do this, that she has to be first in line to know. So don't tell her. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't lie to her. That would be a total violation of who I am as a person, and it would completely destabilize her as a person if I suddenly started lying to her. No, I don't know who that is, Schaefer. But it is 11:30. I do have to pee again, which means that the show is over. On that awkward note, I'm not running away from you, Jackie. But if I'm going to take pictures like that, I need to get them done before the day's over. Such a fucking weird nerd. Mr. S, I'm sorry. And no. That would change everything. No. Okay, dudes and dudettes. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get my day started. I gotta get food in me. And Rachel's gonna absolutely fucking shit her pants when she watches this last part back. So, be well. And I guess thank you for asking, Jackie. Yeah. Your snickerdoodles are done anyway. Yeah. If you want to get a hold of me, there are ways to get a hold of me. Be well, guys.